Folks, feast your eyes on downtown Summerlin. You'd never suspect this type of landscape in downtown.
That familiar smile and signature greeting touched everyone who ever came into contact with Lynn Mills. For decades, he gave Southern Nevadans practical gardening tips and advice through a weekly newspaper column and right here on Waterways. He also enjoyed going out into the community to help Las Vegans solve their most perplexing desert gardening issues.
Lynn was so personable and just so down to earth, but he also just really could joke with people and make a little light of it, but really, understand their problem and what they need to do to make some changes. And by asking them the right questions, he just knew how to ask that question.
Lynn's effortless way of making everyone feel special was a gift, but his knowledge about gardening in our tough desert climate was extraordinary. He could diagnose any plant problem, tell you how to successfully grow juicy tomatoes in dry soil conditions, and name hundreds of plant species dotting the valley landscape. His expertise helped both beginning gardeners and experienced green thumbs tackle the thorniest of problems in their landscape. Lynn graduated college with a degree in horticulture in 1968 and was a horticulturist with the University of Nevada Cooperative Extension and later the Las Vegas Valley Water District. Lynn was a familiar face at the Water District's original 2.5-acre desert demonstration gardens, where he became known as Dr. Green Thumb and helped to develop the popular Day with the Experts program.
Well, Lynn was really at the forefront of water conservation in Southern Nevada. He worked really in partnership with the Water Authority. He was involved in a lot of the citizens advisory councils and advice to the Water District and Water Authority during that period. And then with the gardens, he just really was involved with what he did there. He was on our advisory board. He helped build the program, and then education programs, especially things like our education classes and just gardening classes, seminars. And also, one of the primary ones of those, of course, was the Day with the Experts. And that was really built around Lynn so much because he was really the gardening expert in Southern Nevada.
We're going to start in the classroom where you get a little academics on how to prune, and then we're going to go out and do the actual pruning right out in the garden.
His role at the Water District was not only the teaching of classes, but also helping the Water District understand the connection between the horticulture and the right horticulture to have in this valley and the water needs of that. He was very much a conservationist in many ways.
When the demonstration gardens closed and the Springs Preserve opened in 2007, Lynn continued to lend his expertise as a master gardener. He taught classes, led tours through the 8-acre botanical gardens, and spent countless hours talking to people about their landscapes, whether it was marveling in their successes or answering their toughest gardening questions.
You could look at his columns and you could look at all of the Ask Dr. Green Thumbs that have been posted throughout time, and from when do I plant my petunias to when do I prune my roses, he had all of those answers. And I think the organization often came to Lynn too in terms of, what are the best plants to be putting in? What are those water uses? What are those beautiful blooming colors?
Lynn was a celebrity of sorts, and he had a dedicated fan base that watched his gardening segments on local news channels 3 and 8, as well as right here on Waterways. He enjoyed working with the SNWA's Youth Advisory Council and served as a judge for the Water Authority's annual Landscape Awards program. He also was a board member at Gilcrease Orchard and is credited with developing Southern Nevada's Master Gardeners program.
In 1982, Lynn started the Master Gardener program, and I think it's probably one of the most successful, if not the most successful, volunteer program in the whole country. They have trained over 1,300 volunteers in the course of the 22 years. Last year alone, volunteer hours were given in the Master Gardener program, and they estimate that was worth about $750,000. So it's just amazing to me, and everywhere you turn there's Master Gardeners. They're in the community gardens, there's in the healing gardens, they're at farmers markets, they're teaching classes in various places throughout the country. They have a helpline that people can call in 5 days a week. They can take their plants in there and get problems diagnosed. It's just such a wonderful service to this community.
Lynn was a true steward for the environment and helped the SNWA spread the water conservation message. He understood Las Vegas's unique watering needs and helped others successfully grow plants during drought and seasonal watering restrictions. His horticulture knowledge was comprehensive, and he loved to share his wisdom with others. Linn retired from the Water District in 2012. Even then, he was seen regularly at the Springs Preserve and was still on hand to teach gardening classes. Linn remained very active in the gardening community.
He was everywhere. There wasn't a gardening event that wasn't complete without Lynn Mills. And when you saw his name on any kind of a program, the place would be packed. It'd be standing room only. People loved him.
The thing that I see about Linn was just his personality and just how he was. It was very genuine, and anytime you were anywhere with Linn, people were just drawn to him. They recognized him as that celebrity that he was, and just wanted to be around and wanted to talk to him, and he engaged everybody.
I think Linn was just such a fantastic resource for our community. I think the one piece of advice that he gave to everyone was to encourage the roots of the plant to grow really deep, and that will make your plants thrive. And I think that's the one thing that I took away from Linn, is he lived his life that way. He planted roots all throughout our community, touching people through his column, through his work here at the Springs Preserve, through his teaching and education. He just had such a very powerful impact on all of us here at the Springs Preserve.
For the SNWA, LVVWD, and Springs Preserve family, Linn leaves behind a gigantic void but monumental impact.
If you want to find out more about a lot of the plants that are available, drop by the Springs Preserve.